Next statement from Senator Professor Tom Ojienda, Senior Counsel. You have 4 statements. How many do you want to read today?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I will read all the statements. They are short statements.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, as you know, Kisumu County is a county of excellence, and we lead in the broad-based system. Mr. Speaker, I have 4 statements. The first statement is on the state of education in Kenya. I rise under Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the state of education in Kenya. In the statement, the committee should, Mr. Speaker, state the factors that have contributed to the ever-recurring strike by teachers, explain how the recent teacher strike witnessed in August and September 2024 has impacted learners and the school calendar, though I can see the teachers are here. 3, outline steps taken by the government to permanently address grievances by teachers and ensure that similar grievances do not lead to industrial action in the future. Provide details of the current terms of employment, salaries and benefits for teachers serving in public schools at various cadres, explaining how these terms, salaries and benefits compare with those of teachers serving in private schools. And lastly, explain measures put in place by the government to ensure Kenya achieves and sustains the recommended teacher-student ratio in public and private primary, junior secondary, and secondary schools, disclosing any plans by the government to recruit additional teachers. Mr. Speaker, my second statement is on the safety of pupils and students in schools across the country. And this is necessitated, Mr. Speaker, by the strikes that we have seen in schools. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the safety of pupils and students in schools around the country. Mr. Speaker, I wish to convey my heartfelt condolences to the families who have tragically lost their children due to the recent fire outbreaks in various schools, and wish a speedy recovery to the children who are injured during these incidences. In the statement, the committee should, 1, explain the root causes of student unrest and the increasing number of fires in schools that have been reported across the country. 2, outline the policy of the Ministry of Education on the safety of pupils and students in schools and disclose any measures to enhance the safety of those in boarding schools. 3, explain any existing emergency protocols for handling fire outbreaks and other disasters in schools, and state steps to enact a harmonized disaster preparedness and emergency policy, including mandatory emergency drills in all schools. 4, state measures in place to ensure accountability and compensation to families of victims injured or succumbing to school fires and other disasters. 5, outline any measures to protect pupils and students in boarding schools from the threat of human trafficking. And lastly, disclose the budgetary allocation set aside to mitigate safety of pupils and students against fires and other disasters in public schools from financial years 2020 to date. Mr. Speaker, my third statement is on the state of maintenance and repair of medical equipment, including vaccine refrigerators in health centers and hospitals in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the state of maintenance and repair of medical equipment, including vaccine refrigerators in health centers and hospitals in Kisumu County. In the statement, the committee should provide details on the current supply and availability of drugs, including vaccines in health centers and hospitals in Kisumu County, and outline the measures being implemented to address the existing shortage of drugs and vaccines. 2, inform the Senate on the conditions of maintenance and repair of all medical equipment in health facilities, particularly vaccine refrigerators, and associated budgetary implications, stating the frequency of servicing and repairs. 3, disclose the budget allocated in the financial year 2024-2025 from both the county and national government for maintaining a consistent supply of drugs and vaccines. And lastly, state the budgetary allocation for the years 2024-25 from both Kisumu County and national government for the repairs and maintenance of medical equipment and refrigerators. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to seek a statement under Order 53.1, from the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations regarding the operationalization of municipalities of Maseno Holo, Kombewa Bodi, Ahero Awasi, Muoroni Chemelil, and Kantito Paponditi. Article 186(1) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, read together with Section 9.1 and 9.3 of the Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011, allows the county governor, upon the resolution of the county assembly, to confer status of municipality on a town that meets the set out thresholds. The conferment of municipal status to 5 towns above mentioned calls for good planning and execution to ensure effective governance, accelerated development, and improved livelihoods for the residents. In the statement, the committee should, my Lord, Mr. Speaker, explain the status of compliance by the county government of Kisumu with the provisions of essential services in municipalities enumerated in the first schedule to the Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011. 2, state whether all functions outlined in Schedule 4, Part 2 of the Constitution, including the attendant, staff, budget, and assets, have been transferred from the respective county government departments to the municipalities as per the Gazette notice of 13th October 2023 issued by the Governor Professor Peter Nyang'nyong. Third, explain whether the new municipalities have established physical offices, and if so, where these offices are located for each of the 5 municipalities, and whether these municipalities have operational bank accounts for financial transactions management and day-to-day running of operations, and provide details of the bank accounts and any funds allocated to the municipalities for their establishment. 4, state whether the staff have been deployed in these municipalities, and if so, provide details on the number, remuneration, and the roles of the deployed staff. 5, explain whether these municipalities have established management boards and outline the number of meetings that have been held by the boards since the establishment, providing any resolutions for such meetings and whether allowances have been paid to board members for the meetings held as prescribed. Lastly, outline the general terms of remuneration of the board members and elaborate whether such terms are similar to those of other boards within the county government and whether these terms meet the standards set out by the SRC guidelines. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.